And there we go. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Welcome to the show. This is going to be episode 204. Of course, we are doing our prep, so to speak, before the show here on YouTube. Thanks everyone that does tune in for our YouTube lives. Just to let you know, we do, of course, give you a lot of bonus content here on YouTube. You'll be able to ask questions, comments, any topics you'd like to discuss. We will talk about those on the break. Now, today, we will not have a break in the middle of the show because it's going to be a little shorter show than usual due to I've got fall break, a lot of craziness going on right now.
Yeah, I got a tournament that I got to referee. A little bit later
so a lot of stuff that we've got going on. So it's gonna be a little shorter show today, but we got some really cool stuff. But on YouTube, guys, you can ask all of your questions and comments. We will get to those at the end of the show, plus bonus footage that you won't hear on the podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, you can always watch any of these episodes on YouTube, either live or after they're over. But what's good, man?
So episode 204. You know what else is 204?
What's that?
This guy right here. Yaroslav Askarov,
nice,
Young Guns, card number 204.
Very nice.
Go out and pick one of these up in celebration of this week's episode number 204.
There you go.
And I have no idea. I have no idea who number 205 is on the Young Guns checklist, but we'll figure that out. We'll plug him, whoever that is, next week.
There you go.
But no, it's soccer season's winding down. Indoor season starts a week from today. Nice. So next week's episode, I'll be completely fine. The week after, there may be another broken finger.
Before we go live, next week's episode, I'll actually be doing remotely because I'll be on the road for about 14 days.
Damn.
Yeah. It sucks. But it's going to be a lot of fun hitting the Houston show and then Houston Collecticon and then the Palm Beach card show and staying in West Palm in between. So
nice.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get to see my mom. So I'm really
that works. That works. My next show is the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's the Chicago Sports Spectacular.
Yeah,
3-day show in Rosemont. Yeah, those are going to be fun.
You might be selling some cards for me at that show.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, winter's killing my allergies. But anyway, all right. Well, you want to go on and kick off this week's show? I'll kick it off.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get rolling. And
all right, once again, guys, remember, drop those questions, topics, anything that you would like to hear in the comments.
To the podcast version of Let Me Get That Autograph, episode number 204. 204. Got a good show for you today. It's going to be a little bit shorter than normal just because, we got shit going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
So, Drew, how's your week been so far?
Crazy hectic. We got fall break here, so the son's at home. We got like a 6 or 5 day weekend or whatever. So a little bit altered and trying to get everything ready for about to be on the road for 12 days, hitting up Houston Collecticon and then the Palm Beach card show as well. So about to be on the road for a while. So trying to get everything, in check last minute and all that stuff, but going good, man.
Nice. So I got a question. It's not necessarily for you. It's for anybody out there listening. So feel free to, drop a comment on it, shoot us a message, send us a DM or something like that, through Instagram, Facebook. I found I was going through a bunch of stuff and I found like a crap load of show badges.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not just the ones from the National. Like I got badges from all over the place. Exactly. So
that's
Drew,
this year.
Yeah. So Drew's holding up a massive pile of show badges. So I'm curious, I was thinking, like, am I the only one that that hangs on to these things, or is it something that everybody hangs on to, or things like that?
Most people I know hang on to them. I know my collection is starting to rival now. I used to save back when we did concerts. If you don't know,
yep.
I don't know if fans even wear them anymore. But back in the day, you had a little lanyard that would go on your waist. You know, it would go on your waist, and it would show that, hey, you're one of the
You're
members
with the band.
and that's playing.
Yeah.
And so I have probably, thousands of those just stacked. And I kept every single one from every show. I mean, I might have me missing one or two, but I keep all of mine because that's just a collector / hoarder in me. But if you go to so many like I do, I keep it simply as a reminder of like 10 years down the road being able to look back at that
Yeah.
and being like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just like I look back at those concert stacks of the lanyards and say,
Yeah.
oh man, that I remember that tour. You know what I mean? So I keep them for that reason. I don't necessarily, it's not something like if I don't have it, it's not a big deal. But I try and keep every single one. And I know a lot of people that do a lot of shows that do, and I know a lot of people that don't. So, but I personally do.
But yeah, I'm curious. If you do, shoot us a message, comment, note, anything. And because again, I'm curious as to how many people out there are like that. I don't think I saved them prior to like 2008.
Right.
But I know I've got the 08, maybe even the 05 national.
Nice.
I've got them going back that far.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just one of those weird things. It's like, okay, I don't want to get rid of these.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see how cool the national ones were at one point and how bad they are now compared to.
Oh, back when back when they used to put a card in them.
Yeah.
And now, now it's and I like the designs from this past year.
Me too. They were
it's
cool.
just not as cool. And then you had the VIP party passes that had the the 1-of-1 card and everyone.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really a 1-of-1. It was just,
But I'm sour about that, and I don't want to talk about that because I had the Pat Mahomes 1-of-1 and traded it for a Cam Newton. So I don't want to talk about those.
It happens.
But yes, welcome everybody. Episode 204, a little shorter show than normal today. But I want to kick things off, Scott, because I was signing Jude up for basketball. It's coming up soon, and obviously basketball just tipped off this week. We just started. Some teams are playing their first games here in the next night or two, or playing their second. Not much is going on, but man, oh man, are we in for a fun season? Some of the
unless you're a Chicago Bulls fan,
unless you're
more of the same.
Yeah.
Getting blown out opening night by Thunder.
Yeah.
Shea put up good.
Hey, that's my boy. I
numbers.
told y'all years and years and years.
And hopefully Panini will get off their ass and get me my 17, 18. No, it was 18, 19. Obsidian Orange RPA.
Oh yeah.
That I'm due from back then.
Yeah.
So
because he's signed since then, so it should be. You should have it. But
he signed 2 years ago. And
I
still haven't, and stickers, and they still haven't gotten it to me. So I'm a little salty on that one. But
I hear you there. It's a big one. He's a big guy, and that's the thing. Right there, you talk about that card you're waiting on. That's a huge rookie card of a guy who right now we're at a point in the time in the league where there's so many guys like that are ascending. I always say that nowadays in pro basketball, with the way it's set up, and you might even have to, in a year or two, push this to the 5-year rule if they let these kids continue to come out early. But I always give it the 3-year rule that you can't really judge a guy coming out of, I don't care where, until he's been in the league and played healthy for a solid 3 years, because the development is different. Everything is so different in the NBA. You're seeing guys like Shea, Desmond Bane. I mean, you can go down a list of people and just say there are so many undervalued people in the NBA right now.
Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett. I mean, all these guys. Speaking of that, you see Zion the other night?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Yep.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine had he been healthy the last couple of seasons and playing like that?
I know. Hey, if he stays healthy this year and can actually play like that, oh man, it's going to make the hobby even bigger because there's a lot of people like myself too that have just held their Zion because it's not worth moving. So if he gets into the hobby and he starts generating hobby interest, holy
Yeah.
shit. But I mean, Wemby looked great. I know a lot of people were disappointed. The Spurs rolled him out a little slow in game one. I expected them to because that's the Spurs for you. But the Spurs have three people right now that are solid, massive hobby investments. And do not be surprised to see the Spurs make deep playoff runs. They've got Devin
Yeah.
Vassell. They've also got Jeremy Sochan up front. These are big guys that are amazing players that now you attach to Wemby, who can play like a point guard. You've got that. You've got them. You've got Oklahoma City. You've got the Jazz. You've got a lot of Denver still. Denver
Yep.
looked amazing. The Lakers a possibility. There
No,
are
no, they're
so
not.
many
No, no.
amazing
Lakers.
teams this year.
No, Lakers ain't a possibility.
Well, I don't think they win the championship,
No,
but they
no.
could with the roster they have now. But
I
their
don't think they.
roster
I
will
don't
look
think.
different by
I don't
trade
even think
deadline.
they. I don't think they make the playoffs.
Their roster will look different by trade deadline. There's
And
the NBA is just like baseball. There's so much movement. I think they'll end up
yeah,
making the
I don't think
playoff.
they. I don't think they make it. The West. Look, the West is so deep
It is. It is.
that even when you have a roster like the Lakers, and you just don't make it. And frankly, I think if they're going to get rid of somebody and bring in another body, you got to get rid of LeBron.
Yeah, well, I mean that's not going to happen, but
I mean,
they'll be able to. They'll if they have to make the moves now. I think Austin Reeves and a couple of the players they drafted, I think are going to do great there. I do like some of their moves. I think they're going to be better than people expect. But I'm just saying there is such a long list. I do think this year you see more new teams. I think the Pacers are a team you have to be scared of if you're in the East. That's
I think
a team.
Milwaukee is still the team to be scared of in
Well,
the East, especially
yeah,
with Lillard.
Milwaukee. But the point is, the teams I'm trying to point out are all of these guys that are the future of the league, but there's still the Giannis and Lucas and LeBrons and people like that ahead of them. Well, the LeBrons and that echelon of player is going to drop off, retire, whatever soon. And then it's going to be the Giannis, the Luca, and whoever else ascends. Hell, Ja might come back and become one of those type of guys, just with a little star next to his reputation, like Ray Lewis. Who knows?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't see Ja having that asterisk only because what he did to get himself suspended, it wasn't PEDs.
No,
it was just it wasn't like that. He didn't beat his girlfriend or anything like that.
Yeah. He's just being stupid on the internet. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's a difference between that and
agree. It's more of a joke, but
yeah.
Ja could be one of those guys. But then you've got this entire core of Lugans, Dort, Shea, Desmond Bain, all those guys we're talking about that are being massively overlooked. RJ Barrett, like you said, crazy undervalued. While people like Trae Young and a couple others, I think, are a little overvalued. But start of the NBA season has taken off. Looks like Wemby is the real deal. I've always thought it. And after seeing how the Spurs are using him, I love using him with Vassell, Sochan, and him. I think that lineup, those three, is a very dangerous combination considering Sochan can move down to the small forward, power forward if he needed to, and he plays freaking point guard. Like, I mean, it's scary the rotation that they're playing with right now. So really, really fun. And I can't wait. Obviously, we only have a couple of games or one game for most teams under our belt right now. But this is looking like it's going to be a fun NBA season, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And, we'll kind of see what happens, as we progress. And obviously we have the in-season tournament, which is going on as well. That's going to, provide an interesting dynamic to things.
That's true.
And then I noticed that there's some unusual scheduling variances. I was looking at the Bulls schedule the other day, and they have 2 home games in a row against the Heat, followed by 2 home games in a row against the Magic, And then they've got two away games in a row against the Heat. And I think it was two away in a row against the Magic. So it's instead of, it's just
Instead
a
of home and
weird,
homes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's not home and home. I wouldn't expect a home and home.
Well, yeah.
But what you don't expect in the regular season to be playing the same team twice in a row.
No.
Both in the same location.
The only thing I can think of on that is, the Players Association and the league discussing and trying to. It has to be something to do with travel logistics and play and how it affects performance or something. But it is weird to see almost like baseball miniseries.
Yeah,
in
basketball. And I haven't looked at any of the other teams' schedules. I'll take a look at that for next week's show.
Yeah,
and we'll see if there's any others that are like that.
I'm sure a lot are.
And if it's possible, it's like I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, and it changes the dynamic of the season. I mean, and how you would really prep for the seasons. That's interesting.
Yeah. So like they're only going to Orlando once, as opposed to twice because they're playing the two games, back to back.
Yeah.
And it's just it's one of those weird. Yeah, it's one of those weird things that that just kind of popped up the other day.
Absolutely. Yes, and what since this is a shortened episode today, guys, and a little bit different, do want to shout out Christopher Brown with a comment on YouTube, which you can always check live. It's pretty crazy that Wemby had the exact same stat line that Tim Duncan had in his NBA debut. Exact same stat line, not down to everything, but the main.
Yeah, I was going to say because the height difference between the two of those guys is pretty significant,
and the stuff that matters were identical to Duncan's debut. So pretty cool little thing there. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season for sure. But Scott, let's dive in now to the release calendar this month. It's been a while since we've done this. Obviously, we try and do it as much as possible, but let's do since we got the start of November coming up, we've had some big releases that just came out, which I want to touch on at least one or two also. But let's dive into the release calendar rundown, brother.
All right, so there's one, and I'm going to start this off. This is a non-sport one. It's coming out on November 15th. I'm actually really excited about this. It's a Rittenhouse product.
Okay.
It's the NCIS autograph card expansion pack.
Interesting.
And I'm really excited about this. I was looking at the checklist, and I'm a little disappointed that David McCallum is not on the checklist.
Really?
He just passed away a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But every pack, so it's 9 cards per pack. There's 12 autographs, and every pack is guaranteed to have a Paulie Perrette, and a Rocky Carroll autograph card in it.
I love me some Paulie.
Yeah, and Lauren Holly is in it.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to see that one.
That's not like a show that I watched a ton or anything like that, but when I watched it, I always enjoyed it, and I think that's really cool. I like seeing sets like that. Like I'm a big fan of Psych. Well, Cryptozoic a long time ago put out Psych cards. Now I can't find a pack or a box to say
they did Psych, they did Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
They did a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah. So I like seeing that with NCIS. And NCIS is a good choice, especially when you're trying to go mainstream, because that's a massively watched show across multiple different demographics.
Exactly. I'm a little disappointed. No Michael Weatherly and no, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
I could see Weatherly big time in him.
Yeah, and there's no Gibbs in there either.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, but it's it's one of those things. All right, so here's what we got. So today, the 27th of October, we've got a new Pop Century Decadence product coming out.
It looks amazing.
Yep, we have Topps Inception Overtime Elite coming out today. Topps Chrome Star Wars Black. And then we got a TriStar product. But okay, we're just not going to throw that one out. Just going through, we've got on the 1st, which is Wednesday.
Yes.
We've got Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American Basketball, the 2023 version.
That's the LeBron autos.
LeBron. We're going back to last year's hockey with SP Authentic coming out.
Yep.
We've got a Wild Card Mat Football Premium Edition coming out, and Bowman Sterling Baseball in the third, as well as National Treasures Collegiate Football on the third.
That's a nice one.
Yep. We've got Prizm Collegiate Draft Picks Basketball Choice coming out on the third. Let's see here. And then we go to the 8th. I'm just Chronicles Baseball. I don't care about that. Origins Football coming out on the 8th. 2023 Topps Archives Baseball also on the 8th.
Nice.
We've got on the 10th Panini Certified Football. That should be a fun one.
Yeah. I want to see what they do with Certified, because last year was a big improvement. I want to see if they continue it.
Yeah. The 15th, we've got Donruss Optic UFC.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's see. We've got Chrome Update Baseball coming out on the 15th, and they added a jumbo to it this year. So there's a hobby, a jumbo, and then there's the same Target exclusive retail stuff that's out there.
Okay.
Topps Tier 1 Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because it's 2023. It's last year's product.
I don't know.
Which means no Harry Kane.
No.
There's also no Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Although you will have Bellingham, in there, and that'll be fine. We've got
the Tier 1. I mean, why not? I always think when they put products like that out, man, throw it in Chronicles and make Chronicles bigger and better.
Exactly.
Like if Chronicles had Tier 1 instead of doing that whole run.
Well, I got to remember though, Tier 1 is Topps.
Oh yeah, duh. We'll put it in archives. Whatever, make something.
Or make an archives. Yeah. So we've got last year's Credentials Hockey coming out on the 15th as well. Here's a big one on the 17th. Panini National Treasures Basketball.
Oh, that's a biggie.
Yeah, 2022-23 season. So last year, that's going to be a big one.
That's going to have the double and the triple logo, man. That's going to have all the new big stuff that they teased a while back. That's going to be a huge release.
So this is an interesting one. We've got also on the 17th, 2023 Panini Origins Football International Blaster.
Okay. So they're good. I wonder if that's just Tmall.
It could be. It could be Tmall.
Because that's what it sounds like. Like any Asian distribution is normally Tmall. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure.
No, that is true. All right. So on the 22nd, we have Donruss Elite WWE.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about something else WWE related coming up here. We've got Donruss Football also on the 23rd. That's also a popular product, as well as NBA Hoops coming out.
Okay.
And I'm just looking just down the list here. So we got O-Pee-Chee Platinum Hockey from last year coming out on the 29th. Nice. Chronicles Racing on the 29th. And it looks like we finally have on the 29th 2023 Topps MLS.
All right. Well, looking at this release calendar, and there's one release I want to touch on that is just released, but I want to touch on that in a minute. But this month, I mean, dude, you got Bronny autos coming. Bronny Junior autos coming this month with McDonald's All-American. Finally, you got National Treasures. You have football's rated. I like Origins and all that stuff coming out, but with the way the quarterback auto situation is,
a little different.
Will Levis is now getting a chance to play. So his stuff is starting to get a bump, but no autos again. I look at stuff like Donruss, rated rookies. Those are the products where I think you're going to see a lot more value, and are going to be a lot bigger. But I'm also interested to see how does National Treasures Collegiate do without all of those players with the high box price.
But here's the other
high.
Hold on. So here's the other thing that I noticed about some of those collegiate products. And we'll take a look at Prizm Draft Picks.
Yes.
Basketball that just came out. And here's the reason why.
That's the product I wanted to touch on.
This is not strictly a guys that left the league. They actually added an NIL component to the product this year, because we've got guys like Jared McCain, who's sitting right here, and I'm showing a college penmanship screen. he's just starting to play for Duke.
Yep.
He is not in the league yet. So we've got a situation now where they,
No, they're going all the
very
way
well
through college. It's not just seniors that are leaving.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the collegiate product, because they're doing that NIL component to it, is going to be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
not
true.
guys that's like, okay, well, the first card came out, but in like 2 months they're going to have NFL uniform cards or NBA uniform cards.
It's like,
No,
no.
some of these guys, especially in football, some of these guys that are freshmen, that are playing now that they put in the product aren't going to have an NFL uniform card for 3 years.
Oh yeah, I mean Caleb Williams is going to have them for 2, just alone. He'll have 2 years worth of Bowman U and all that stuff before he even hits the league. But one thing that I love that Panini did, and I'll be interested to see with some of these releases coming up, because they seem prime for this as well. But they took a page out of Upper Deck's book. And knowing that Wemby's not going to be in everything this year and everything like that, with Prizm Draft Picks basketball, at least Wemby autos, they put in old school high-end stuff from Steph Curry. I mean, like major stars, national treasures, collegiate stuff of Steph Curry and lots of other very, very big names in these products. So you can open up Prizm Draft and pull Flawless, and it's not junk players. Like,
no, and even Wemby's in there. He just doesn't have autos.
Right, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Somebody paid $1,200 for his snake skin.
Well, I always go back, harken back to the Ben Simmons thing that started Prizm, that really made Prizm become popular. When he didn't have licensed autos, stuff like that, Prizm and stuff like that went through the roof non-auto, because that's what the collective whole and the big spenders chose to focus the market on. And I think you're going to see that with Wemby. Be surprised Prizm Draft blues and his blacks or black golds and all this stuff go for absurd amounts of money. But I love the addition of adding in Flawless, national treasures, all this other different stuff to Prizm Draft. And I want to see if they continue doing it with professional uniform stuff through the year, knowing that Wemby doesn't have an auto, because I think that's a brilliant idea, especially because all you're going to use those cards for, honestly, let's be real, is stamping 101 white box on them.
Yeah.
So let's put them in products and give them a different feeling and give them a different look by everyone else. People are going to judge those cards differently, and they're probably going to be worth a lot more.
Now, hopefully they do put a special stamp on them in order to differentiate them from, the white box 1-of-1s or the other,
well, see, I've got to research it more, but it may be cards that never came out. It may be cards that weren't even in the set. I'm not sure.
Well, that's okay. If that's the case, then it's okay. Then they just have the normal stamping on them or something like that.
But when you look at the names of the people that are in here, I'm just going through some: Charles Barkley, Steph Curry, Zion Williamson, Ja Morant. Then you've got people like Christian Braun, who is very good. Then you've also got Gary Payton, Michael Porter Jr., Bradley Beal.
Wait. Isn't this wait a minute. Wait. So we've got basketball that started this week, and we've gone all through the preseason, and not once have you brought up your annual Michael Porter Jr. is overrated and nobody should be giving a shit about him speech.
I still, even after winning a championship, I still think you guys are batshit crazy, but people didn't go crazy for him this year because it was baked in from the championship.
Well, people didn't go crazy for him this year because they're going crazy for Wemby.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no reason to go crazy for him, but
but no, he didn't have his annual 800 Michael Porter Jr. post. I did not have to go on my Michael Porter Jr. rant this year. It's the first time in 4 years. I think
that's how I know. That's how I know when the NBA season starts.
Oh yeah, when I go crazy on Michael Porter Jr.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so draft picks, I mean, including stuff like this, and I'm talking flawless legacy autographs, flawless moments. Like these are big cards. And so I love them adding that in to Prism Draft, and I hope they added into some future products as well. But looking at the release calendar this month, the thing that stood out most to me for football, going over to football, is Donruss with the rated rookies, because of the lack of autos by any of the big quarterbacks. Luckily, we've got positional players going ape shit. And so maybe that can try and hold some of it up, but I don't know how much it really can hold it. Stuff like Origins, things like that. Those are the ones that I'm a little concerned about on the football side, as opposed to Donruss, a low-end flagship product with the rated rookie.
Well, but here's the thing about the Donruss, and it all depends. I haven't seen a checklist yet now, but again, we know this is a product that was designed and printed a while ago. It's not a new thing.
Puka's probably not going to be in it.
And Badgent's probably not going to be in it. And I think people are going crazy for Badgent for no reason.
Oh, yes. No, he is the quintessential overreaction eBay buy. This is a prime test.
If I pulled one now, I am selling it immediately.
Yeah.
Because it will not get any better than it's at right now for his stuff.
No.
But I don't know if they were able to sneak something of his in there. Same thing. But again, Puka should have, if they're sneaking Badgent in, they should be able to sneak Puka in there too.
I don't know. Badgent was a quarterback. Much better chance of them photographing quarterbacks than wide receivers drafted in the 5th round with 800 drafted above them.
Well, as opposed to not being drafted at all, coming from a D3 school.
But he still was in, the same product that Puka was, Prism Draft. So,
but everybody's in Prism Draft. Guys that never got drafted, that didn't even get signed to a practice squad, are in Prism Draft.
Yeah, that's how I'm getting my ECU guys. So shut up.
Exactly.
All right. So so there's a release date rundown for this month. I think it'll be I think it's gonna be a fun month, man. We got a lot of cool products coming out, a lot of different stuff.
I'm excited for it. A lot of stuff that I'm really excited to see pop out, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yep.
So, but I mentioned earlier, because there's a WWE product that is coming out. I mentioned earlier that we're gonna be talking about WWE for a minute here, and I think now is a really good time for that. Because I know, Drew, you are super excited about this.
Oh, I'm freaking stoked about this. Are you kidding me? And how do you feel about it? It doesn't matter how you feel.
I was about to say, I smell what you're cooking.
The Rock is coming back. Autographed Rock cards coming back to the hobby with it's Leafs Wrestling Legends, I believe. Leaf Metal Wrestling Legends. Let me double check. 99% sure that's the name of the product. But the Rock is returning 2 cards. Yep, it's going to be in Leaf Metal Legends Wrestling this year. The Rock autos. And dude, this is huge. I don't know if y'all remember a while back his 1-of-1 black Prism that was graded like a 6 sold for, I think it was $200K, something like that.
It was stupid money.
Yeah, and he has not signed anything, I believe, since 97 or 98. It was real early on. He has not signed any wrestling stuff, outside of, public signings, things like that. And, it's very rare to be able to get the Rock on anything official, especially something that's certified by a company, which we all know sells for so much more in a hobby. So this is massive. We talked last week about Tim Duncan. This is 10 times the Tim Duncan. The Rock is literally the most popular actor in the world. It's been proven now, apparently, that he's one of the most popular actors in the world. But in wrestling, he is undeniable. He
I will
came
say
out the other week and it was unannounced. And normally it leaks, you know what I mean? And people know. People had no clue. He didn't do anything. He didn't do much, but the sound of his music, oh my God, it blew you couldn't even watch it on TV. It was so loud. Like
So
it
here's
was
here's the
incredible.
thing that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this one, but the card that Leaf is putting out, unlike the cards that Panini has put out recently, with with Prism and things like that,
Yeah.
It says Dwayne Johnson on it.
Yes.
It doesn't say The Rock.
Right.
So I'm wondering. Now, don't get me wrong. It's being signed. Dwayne Johnson is the signature as well.
Yeah. Well, the mock-up.
Well, the mock, but I don't think the regular one. I don't think they have the rights to use the name The Rock.
Oh, I don't know about him signing it though. They might. They do not have the rights to use the name The Rock, but I don't think there's any way you can stop him from signing his signature.
No. But at the same time, not saying The Rock on the card. Is it going to matter? Is it going to matter to people?
I don't think so. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I don't think so now because of things like Pop Century blowing up, like the pop culture market blowing up, and also with, like I said, him being such a big star in acting and in other things. There are very few wrestling fans that now, granted, early in his career, you could pick any movie and it's a shit movie. Eventually, he became, the star he is.
I don't know. Scorpion King was pretty solid.
Yeah, but there were a lot of really bad ones. And straight to DVD is just bad. But there's so many wrestling fans that I guarantee you all of them have a favorite Rock movie. So they know him as Dwayne Johnson. He's known as Dwayne Johnson. And so, like, I think I don't see that being a problem. It might hurt it a little bit, but look, Panini, Topps, they're not coming out with Rock Autos. Leaf is the only one doing it, and it has not been done in almost 30 years. Like,
yep. All right. Well, hold on. Now I'm gonna take this one step further because again, the Leaf products are sticker autos. How long before we see Panini Prizm The Rock cards with a Leaf sticker auto on them, slabbed as authentic? They've done it before.
Yeah. No, I know they have done it before.
How long until we see that? They'll send it to Beckett. Beckett will authenticate the autograph, slab it, and look, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying Beckett's not doing anything wrong in that situation. And now all of a sudden you've got sticker auto Panini Prizm The Rock cards, which it would be sticker autos on there anyway if Panini had put them out.
Right.
And they're slabbed. How long till that happens?
I don't know. I don't know if they'll have the license long enough to make those.
They already exist. They already exist. Leaf, there's nothing stopping Leaf from buying up a whole bunch of ones that exist already.
Oh yeah,
slapping a sticker on it and slabbing it.
But still, you have to put it out in a product, and I'm just saying I don't know if they'll have enough lead time to do that with WWE being a lot different than football, but we'll see. I don't know. We don't know.
Leaf can put out that product whenever they want. I'm not talking about Panini putting the product out.
I'm
talking about Leaf putting the product out.
I could easily see Leaf doing that, but I don't know if they got him to sign it. I mean, they've announced he's going to be in one product. They didn't announce future products, so there's a very good chance that these could be limited to 100. You know what I mean? There's a very good chance that these could be,
or they could be limited.
I mean,
we don't know.
Now look, it's under new ownership, obviously. So this is gonna be the first big thing that's been put out post Brian Gray, even though Brian Gray had to have been heavily involved in getting this done because of the lead time and everything for a card. Yeah. But this is going to be one of the first things put out by the new company. Were they transitioning to the new roles? Everything, who knows? But are there going to be, thousands that hit the market, or did The Rock sign 300?
I can't see him doing thousands. I think it's going to be. I think he may have signed 300 or 400 stickers, but I've got a feeling that this is going to be something that's numbered to at the very most 100. Yeah. But I think it's going to be even less.
Me too.
And then I think Leaf is going to have those stickers to use for
whatever they choose.
Yeah, there may be a Dwayne Johnson Pop Century card coming out, next year, or
Yeah, but
whatever they
that
want
way
to,
they've at least
whatever
got
they
it
want to put out.
in the cockpit. Yeah,
But I'm
you know.
curious. I'm curious as to how they got the licensing for the image, because it looks like it looks like he's standing on a rope,
Oh yeah, he's
on the
standing in.
ring.
It's a very famous WWE pose.
Yeah, but the question, like, I'm curious as to how they got the licensing for that, because WWE is very, very controlling over anything that is,
Well, I'm assuming.
images, names, all that kind of stuff.
Well, looking at the image, you can kind of tell, and they even have actually on it the logo on his tights is actually on there. I didn't notice that till just now, but based on when his tattoo is done and everything, and what tattoos are on him, this looks like around probably the time he came back about 10 years ago wrestling Cena and stuff like that. There's a very good chance that this was outside, maybe an outside photo shoot or something along those lines, and maybe it's just
That
made
looks
to
like,
look
well,
like
no,
that.
that looks like a shot that was taken during a match.
No, it does. It looks like
Um,
the Cena WrestleMania gear, but I could be
yeah,
wrong.
I mean, he's clearly standing on the ropes outside the ring, leaning
Yes,
in,
yes,
for something. So I mean, it's definitely match related. I don't think they would stage that as a photograph.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they got the right. That's a good question. How they got
Yeah,
the rights to the photo. Um, but yeah,
and
good
especially with the
question.
WWE logo, on
Well,
his.
the
I don't know.
WWE
Yeah.
logo is nowhere to be found. The Rock's logo,
Oh,
which
the
is
Rocks logo.
yeah, not WWE, the Rock's
Okay.
logo. Yes.
And I want to say Dwayne Johnson has ownership of that.
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the Brahma Bull and all that stuff related, he does have ownership in. So that's probably how they
Yeah.
got away with that.
Yeah.
Because there is no WWE, but his stuff is on there. But it just blows my mind that Leaf was able to get this and not Panini or Topps. I'm assuming it's because Panini and Topps wanted him to sign too much, probably wanted
Yep.
too many products, and Leaf came in and said, "Hey, we'll do something smaller. We'll know
Yeah.
when we see the print runs of this product and if he's in more, etc." But I mean, if you had told me the Rock's coming back to sign cards, Leaf would not have been my first thought.
No, and frankly, Panini wouldn't have been my first thought either.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that that Ruben would have thrown out
100%.
a boatload of money and
Would have expected to see him at his next white party with Brady. Like, I mean,
exactly. Or he'd sign whoever decided to produce XFL cards.
yes.
He would do a signature deal with them.
Yeah.
That I could see. But this one kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
it did.
think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that particular product.
No, I'm curious to see how these sell, especially compared to the Prism stuff, considering we have that legendary Prism sale. The wrestling market, which continues every month, just continues to go up another 3 to 5%. It's crazy to me. But just to watch while everything else kind of up bob and weaves, wrestling is just this right now. But I'm curious to see, with that strong sale already up there of a couple $100,000 for something, how these hold up to Prism, considering I think a lot of that big sale on the Prism was because we're only going to have 1 or 2, maybe 3 years of Prism period of wrestling. You know what I mean? And this is kind of looking like a one-off type of set as opposed to a yearly set that Leaf is going to put out, which it might be some, but I just don't. I think this is more, hey, we got the Rock, let's put out something awesome. But it'll be interesting to see. But no matter what, if you're a wrestling fan, you got to be happy. Rock Auto's coming for the first time since 1998.
Yep. All right. And speaking of Leaf, I just want to point out, not necessarily card related, but sort of card related. But the other day, we lost a giant in the acting world. Richard Roundtree, passed away.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know Richard Roundtree, shame on you.
Right.
One of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was Shaft.
There
which
you go.
kind of which may say something about how fucked up my childhood was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I grew up with him, and I was thinking about it because he does have autograph cards out there. He's been in a couple of the Pop Century products. This whole segment with The Rock and the Leaf products. Obviously, you talk about Pop Century and things like that. Go out and pick up a Richard Roundtree autograph.
There you go. I like that.
Dude was legitimately the first black action hero.
Oh yeah. You kidding me?
And it's like one of those things, like I always wanted to meet the guy and never got the chance, and now I'll never have the chance. And dude was very much an idol for me growing up, which again, unusual for a white boy from suburban Chicago.
Right.
But like I said, just want to point that out, because he is in a Pop Century product.
Yeah.
So go pop some of those off.
All right. Well, before we wrap everything up today, Scott, I just wanted to touch on something that I saw. I saw a picture of that's been making its way through social media, and I think it's absolutely awesome. And I want to get your thoughts on this. I don't remember the exact collector. I apologize where the photo originated. It's been reposted by so many people now.
Yeah.
But Topps releasing the flagship collection at Costco, which includes Series 1, Series 2, Update, a Jumbo, and some special packs as well, and some other stuff inside this really cool, almost like the Pokemon, the big boxes that they have of Pokemon out there. But putting it out in Costco.
Yeah.
And that's pretty interesting, honestly.
It's been done before.
Yes. No, it's not the first time cards have been in Costco.
No, not the first time. I mean, I remember when I was a kid going to Sam's Club and stuff like that.
But this is the first time where it's been this prevalent. Like, this is a massive, I'm looking at the photo now. This is a massive display in the middle of the store. Like, this is huge, and this is a lot of eyeballs on the hobby. When we're talking, I actually love this because, like you said, it's not the first time we've seen cards. I've seen cards and stuff there, but not like this. And Costco, which I actually did a little research, gets over 3 million verified members a day on average walking through their stores. So if you're getting 3 million people a day that are seeing stacks of stuff like this and seeing the flagship collection and getting that entry level card into their hands, dude, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's awesome too. As far as that, because look, let's be honest, the flagship products are the entry level products.
Yeah.
They are, I don't want to say designed for kids because there's so much in there that's not designed for kids, but at the same time,
it's designed for the general collector, the new collector, the average collector. Yeah, just
the guy that wants a rookie card of their their favorite player that that just came up and things like it. Like, that's what you think of. You think of Series 1, Series 2, Update.
Yeah.
As far as the existing collector base goes, I think what happens with those boxes is all dependent on what is in those damn silver packs.
Yeah. I
really want to go snag a box. I mean, I live by like 10 Costcos. I want to go, and unfortunately I don't have time until next week. So hopefully there's some left. But I want to go take a look at those now because I want to see what's in those silver packs.
Well, I have a feeling there'll be some left because there was a crap load of I mean, there were
some flipper's gonna just show up with their own pallet jack and just take the whole fucking thing.
Well, I am looking as we're going through. I'm checking a break here to see if there's anything special in these silver packs.
I think they're just foil. They're probably like a foil variant of the cards that are already in.
No, the silver packs are actually they're a throwback looking image. It's a whole new looking set. So it's like image. It's basically image variations.
Okay, so I'm wondering if is it paper or is it chrome?
No, it's paper. Shout out to Northwest Rips online. They're the only ones that have it on. It's $40 at Costco for all of this.
Yeah,
you get a ton of packs for it. they've got a ton, but it does look like the silver packs are just a different design. They may have
Well, they
autograph
did.
versions.
So they did a similar box with Series 1 and Series 2, or I don't know about Series 2, Series 1 for sure, where you wound up getting a jumbo card. I think there were like 10 packs in
Yeah,
the box, and then there was a silver pack that had image
the
variations
foils.
in it.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm curious. Well, I'm curious as to whether or not there's different color parallels of these that they put in this one. I'm
yeah.
also curious whether or not the normal packs that you get in there, are they the same packs, or are they kind of like the Bowman Mega Box packs where it's just base?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm looking at them now, double checking. I just watched another one, Rip Current Cards. Okay. Yes, it does look like these are, it looks like they've created, in addition to Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3, the silver packs are actually called the Flagship Collection. And it's
yeah.
almost like an extension of Update. It looks to be, now there might be parallels. I just watched 3 real fast.
Okay.
No color was in it. There could be color, there could be autos, but it looks to be just a separate set. You know, it
Well,
doesn't
but
look to be like Chrome and stuff like
but
that.
it could end up being a kind of like how they do the image variations in the complete sets.
Right.
There could end up being some decent image variations of rookies.
Yeah.
That turns out aren't printed very.
Well, I was
the print
about to
runs
say
on
they
those are
may end up
low.
being some of their most short printed rookies, depending on how long these are going to be there and how many stores they hit with the same configuration. These could end up being incredibly short printed rookies. They kind of have like early 2000, late hundreds to 2010s kind of design feel to them. They look pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm curious, so I'm gonna go try to find a box early next week if I can. What I'll probably end up doing is ripping the damn thing in the car, and if I like it, I'll just go back in and get more.
There you go.
Just kind of the way it rolls.
But overall, I do like seeing it, in places like Costco. I walked into a Sheets the other day and saw some stuff in Sheets. I'm loving seeing stuff.
I just took a Sheets before the show.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
But I'm loving seeing everything out in these new avenues. People may say, oh, whatever, it should be here, it should be there. I don't care where it is. I want new eyes on the hobby. I want new eyes to see this stuff. And like, it really looks like they're making a collaborative effort to try and expand into some new territories. We used to, back in the day when we had a Toys R Us, you had your Toys R Us's and all that, but we don't have those anymore. So maybe eventually, Costco starts to be one of the places. But if we can get more of these type of places to embrace the hobby, the better chance we have. Because I'm telling you right now, if you've got 3 million plus verified members going to Costco a day, and you can even get just a couple of kids to convince their parents to grab a couple of those, every single day, that's new people into the hobby. That's a lot of people that are far away from where you would expect to see cards. And so I don't know. I love seeing it, and I think it's a good move on Topps' part. I do think they dropped the ball with the silver packs, but I want to dive a little deeper into what exactly they are. But just from the look of it,
and we'll talk about that a little bit more next week when I get a chance to rip some.
There you go.
We'll figure it out from there.
All right. Well, guys, that is going to wrap up episode 204 of Let Me Get That Potograph. Before we go, I do want to thank our awesome sponsors, Zion Cases, Slab Strong, Show Your Slabs, Treasure Hunter Sports Cards, Game Time Sports Cards, Stand-Up Displays, and Denver Card Shows, which Denver Card Shows is having another show this weekend. Make sure, if you're in the Denver area, to go check it out. Pat Surtain Jr., Rudy, Raquel Pennington, tons of amazing autograph guests, and a lot of other stuff. John and them put on an incredible
And even if you're not in the Denver area, go take a trip. Hop in the car. Hop a plane. However you want to get there.
This is going to be a great show. So make sure to check it out. You can purchase tickets online or at the gate. as well as your autograph tickets. Just go to denvercardshows.com. But it is this weekend, Saturday 11 to 5, or 10 to 5, Sunday 11 to 4. But guys, that is going to do it for this week's episode. And until next week, you guys know the deal. Keep ripping those packs, pulling those hits. We'll talk to you then. Peace. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. A little shorter episode than normal.
Yep.
A lot of stuff going on. Yes, buddy. I know. Yep. My son is about his patience is worn thin. But yes, so thank you everyone that did tune in today. Once again, every single week we do our recordings live. Next week I'll be on the road, but I actually got some new microphones, so actually
Nice.
Sound quality will be nice for on the road. But every single week we do broadcast our shows live, so you can tune in, ask us questions, leave some comments. We'll either get to them during the breaks or at the end of the show. So we're not ignoring you if we don't answer it right away. Unless your question's stupid, then we are ignoring you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or maybe we are ignoring
you.
you.
Yeah, sometimes we might.
Yeah.
But we'll get to everything like that at the end. If there's a topic or something that we missed that you would like us to discuss, please let us know. That's what we're here for. And also, please hit that subscribe button, that bell button, all that stuff that all those other YouTubers tell you to hit. But greatly appreciated. But good show today, man.
Yep, absolutely. Got a crazy weekend of refereeing going on this weekend. So
yeah, my calendar's nuts. So guys, I know normally we hang around and do a lot of other stuff, but this week we are going to say adios. So we will be back next week with episode 205. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chris, everyone else, we had a lot of people watching for an afternoon show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But we will see you guys next week. Peace out, guys.